Hey Steelers Nation, we are gearing up for a massive Sunday night showdown that promises to be as intense off the field as it is on it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are preparing to face the Cleveland Browns in a high-stakes game that has all the makings of a classic late-season clash. With kickoff set for 8:15 p.m. at Acrisure Stadium, the atmosphere is already charged, and while the forecast might predict a crisp night with temperatures hovering around 30 degrees at the high and dropping to 21 by game time, the real chill is expected in the stands. This is not just about winter air. This is about the kind of tension that can electrify a home crowd and test every ounce of focus from the players on the field. Mike Tomlin, in his usual composed manner at his weekly press conference, addressed the idea of home field advantage and how it can influence a game of this magnitude. He spoke about the tangible challenges that come with facing a team capable of adjusting at the line of scrimmage and how those pressures affect offensive execution. Starting strong, he emphasized, is crucial when conditions, both environmental and situational, pose immediate obstacles. Tomlin cited past examples, like the showdown in Baltimore, where scoring early helped neutralize the opposition's edge, highlighting that fast starts could be a determining factor in high-pressure games. Yet, he carefully avoided the temptation to inject pep speeches aimed at the crowd, stressing that the responsibility for engagement lies squarely with the team. Understanding the crowd's temperament has always been part of covering Steelers games, and the dynamic between fans and performance is particularly fascinating this season. After the recent loss to Cleveland, the fanbase's disappointment is palpable, intensified by the fact that the team had built considerable hope with strong showings in previous weeks. This isn't just the ordinary ebb and flow of fan support. This is a moment where expectation collided with reality, leaving a sting that lingers as the team prepares for a pivotal late-season matchup. Historically, the crowd at Acrisure can be relentless, especially when the team's fortunes appear in flux. The initial reactions can set the tone, and for the Steelers, the margin for error is incredibly slim, especially when every series counts and the weight of playoff implications hangs in the balance. The psychological component of this game cannot be overstated. Players are acutely aware of the stakes, and it's clear that confidence in their own abilities remains intact even when frustration with strategy or utilization surfaces. Inside the locker room, conversations reveal a mix of self-reflection and irritation with circumstances beyond their control. The team entered this season with a sense of potential that has yet to fully materialize, and moments like the Cleveland loss amplify the tension between expectations and outcomes. Positional groups huddle close, not just for camaraderie, but to share insight, vent frustrations, and quietly process what might have been done differently. These whispers echo across the room, forming a silent narrative of determination mixed with concern. It is not a lack of talent or resolve. It is an acute awareness that strategic choices from the sidelines have occasionally hampered the team's rhythm and efficiency. As the Steelers prepare for the Browns, the interplay between fan anticipation and player mindset is particularly noteworthy. The crowd's energy, whether supportive or critical, can significantly influence momentum, and early reactions during player introductions or key drives may amplify the stakes. This is not a season where minor errors go unnoticed, and each possession has the potential to alter the emotional landscape inside the stadium. The importance of executing well from the opening series cannot be overstated. It is a chance to not only score but to assert control and establish confidence, both on the field and among the stands. The team has the opportunity to reset expectations, rebuild trust with their fan base, and generate the kind of excitement that makes playoff football unforgettable. Looking back at previous seasons and key moments provides perspective on just how critical this juncture is. There have been times when external pressures and the looming presence of formidable opponents have tempered hope. For many fans, encountering powerhouse teams like the Patriots in past playoff runs meant holding expectations in check to avoid the sting of disappointment. This season, however, the dynamic is different. The Steelers have been in a position to capture attention and inspire optimism, and the recent loss to Cleveland has only heightened the stakes. The narrative now is one of redemption, of seizing a chance to prove that setbacks are temporary and that focus, execution, and strategic clarity can turn potential into results. It is a scenario ripe with tension, where the team's response to adversity will define both the short-term outcome and the lingering sentiment among the fan base. Inside the locker room, the players are grappling with their own mix of emotions. While confidence in their individual and collective abilities remains strong, there is a pervasive frustration regarding how the team has been deployed at times. Questions about situational usage, play calling, and game planning linger, creating a backdrop of impatience even amidst victory. Conversations between teammates reveal a nuanced understanding. Everyone recognizes that talent exists, that preparation has been thorough, but that execution has sometimes been hindered by choices made outside the player's control. This is not about blame. It is about the urgency to maximize potential, to align effort with opportunity, and to translate capability into tangible outcomes on the field. The intensity of these discussions reflects a team that is deeply invested in achieving success and unwilling to settle for anything less than the highest standard. The upcoming clash with the Browns carries the weight of history, expectation, and the tangible desire to reclaim momentum. The Steelers know that the margin for error is slim, that every drive, every decision, and every adjustment will be scrutinized by a fan base hungry for redemption. The stadium will be alive with energy, oscillating between anticipation and scrutiny, and the players must navigate both the physical and psychological elements of the game. It is a challenge that demands focus, resilience, and the ability to seize pivotal moments, to score early, and to establish dominance before tension can take hold. Success in this context is as much about managing circumstance and perception as it is about athletic execution. For those who have followed the team through highs and lows this season, the narrative is clear. The Steelers have the talent, the drive, and the experience to make this a defining moment. Yet, the margin for error is razor-thin, and the consequences of missteps are magnified by history and expectation. Fans, analysts, and players alike recognize that every possession is magnified, every call scrutinized, and every response to adversity shapes the story of the season. It is a scenario that combines strategy, execution, and the emotional pulse of a dedicated fan base. The team's ability to harness this energy, to focus amidst distraction, and to perform under pressure will ultimately determine whether they can reclaim control of their destiny, secure a top playoff seed, and generate the momentum necessary to succeed in the postseason. As the night of the game approaches, the energy around Acrisure Stadium is electric, tinged with anticipation and an edge of anxiety. Fans know the stakes are immense, and the tension is reflected in every conversation, every glance exchanged in the stands. This is more than a football game. It is a pivotal moment that could define the trajectory of the season. The Steelers have shown glimpses of brilliance in past weeks, but the inconsistency has left supporters cautiously optimistic, aware that momentum can swing in an instant. The challenge for Pittsburgh is to translate their potential into performance, to move past the frustrations of recent losses, and to execute with precision under the watchful eyes of a fan base hungry for redemption. Mike Tomlin's approach remains deliberate and measured, a constant in a world of fluctuating expectations. His focus on preparation and adaptability is central to the team's mindset as they enter this critical week. Adjustments at the line of scrimmage, timely communication between players, and precise execution of offensive and defensive schemes will be essential in neutralizing Cleveland's threats. The weight of playoff implications hangs over every series, and early drives will set the tone. A strong start, Tomlin believes, can defuse external pressures and give the team confidence, reinforcing that success is determined on the field, not in the stands. This philosophy resonates with players who have experienced the highs and lows of previous seasons and understand that composure and focus can make the difference between victory and defeat. Inside the locker room, the atmosphere is a blend of intensity and reflection. The players are keenly aware of the criticisms from outside, yet there is no surrender to negativity. Instead, the focus is on taking control where it matters most, on the field. Positional groups huddle, reviewing film, discussing strategy, and emphasizing execution. The lessons from recent games, particularly the painful loss to Cleveland, are fresh, and the desire to avoid similar pitfalls is palpable. Players recognize that talent alone is insufficient. Strategy, timing, and mental acuity are equally critical. There is a collective understanding that every opportunity to move the chains, every chance to score, and every defensive stand carries the weight of expectation and history. The crowd will play a significant role in the narrative of the evening. Historically, Pittsburgh fans are a force unto themselves, capable of creating momentum that can either inspire or intimidate. This week, their reactions will mirror the team's urgency and determination. Player introductions, pre-snap adjustments, and the opening drives will all be magnified under the stadium lights. The Steelers know that early success is vital, not only to establish rhythm, but also to regain the trust and enthusiasm of supporters who have endured disappointment in recent weeks. The interplay between fan energy and on-field execution is symbiotic. Each can fuel the other, creating an atmosphere that becomes a tangible advantage for the home team if leveraged effectively. As kickoff nears, the narrative of the season comes into sharp focus. The Steelers are at a crossroads, with the potential to secure the AFC North title, earn a first-round home playoff game, and reassert themselves as a contender. Yet, the fragility of this position is apparent. Any lapse, any misstep, and the momentum can shift, altering the trajectory of the season. The players are acutely aware of this, and their preparation reflects an understanding that discipline, focus, and adaptability are paramount. The stakes are not theoretical. They are immediate and pressing. Every play carries significance, and the team's collective resolve will be tested in real time, under the unforgiving scrutiny of both fans and history. In the locker room, the intensity is matched by a quiet determination. The players reflect on their past performances, analyzing what worked and what failed, not to dwell on mistakes, but to extract lessons that can be applied in the moment. There is a recognition that football is a game of adjustments, and the ability to respond to adversity defines great teams. The Steelers' preparation this week is meticulous, with an emphasis on maximizing the strengths of each player while minimizing exposure to weaknesses. The interplay between coaching strategy and player execution is critical, and the focus is on creating opportunities for success, whether through precise route running, disciplined protection schemes, or timely defensive stops. This level of preparation is not just tactical. It is psychological, reinforcing confidence and resilience as the team steps onto the field. The emotional dimension of the game cannot be overlooked. Fans arrive with expectations shaped by recent history, aware of the fragility of momentum and the impact of every play. Their energy, whether expressed in cheers or anxious murmurs, becomes part of the environment the players must navigate. Steelers athletes are trained to manage this, to focus on execution and ignore distractions, but the weight of expectation adds a layer of intensity that makes the game feel larger than life. This is not merely about wins and losses. It is about reclaiming pride, demonstrating capability, and proving that the season's narrative is still under the team's control. Each series, each decision, carries the potential to shift the collective mood, to turn skepticism into optimism, and to convert frustration into exhilaration. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, whispers have emerged suggesting that Joe Burrow, one of the league's brightest quarterback talents, could be on the verge of a seismic move to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sources close to the situation hint at a potential 3-year deal that would dramatically reshape the AFC landscape, though no official confirmation has yet been released. Burrow, who has dazzled fans and analysts alike with his pinpoint accuracy and calm demeanor under pressure, has long been considered the cornerstone of the Cincinnati offense. His connection with receivers and his ability to read defenses make him one of the most coveted quarterbacks in the game today. The possibility of him donning black and gold jerseys has immediately sparked debates among NFL pundits. Can the Steelers' current roster maximize Burrow's elite skill set, or will adjustments be required on both sides to make this fantasy a reality? The rumored contract, reportedly spanning 3 years, suggests a significant commitment from Pittsburgh, signaling that the franchise may be ready to pivot its strategy around a quarterback capable of leading them deep into the playoffs. Fans and insiders are already speculating on how offensive schemes would evolve, whether the Steelers would invest heavily in protection around Burrow, and how his style would mesh with the current offensive weapons at Pittsburgh's disposal. Social media has erupted with speculation, with hashtags and trending posts dissecting every potential scenario. Some analysts argue that Burrow's move to Pittsburgh could ignite a period of dominance reminiscent of the team's glory days, while others caution that even the most talented quarterbacks face hurdles when adjusting to new systems. In locker rooms and front offices across the league, executives are reportedly watching closely, aware that a deal of this magnitude could trigger a ripple effect, influencing trades, free agent moves, and draft strategies. While the NFL remains tight-lipped, the rumor alone has fueled intense chatter in sports bars, online forums, and fantasy football circles. For Pittsburgh, the prospect of adding a quarterback of Burrow's caliber is tantalizing, offering a mix of hope and expectation that could transform the franchise's trajectory. Whether this speculation will crystallize into reality or remain just that, a tantalizing what-if, only time will tell. But for now, the mere possibility of Joe Burrow in black and gold is enough to send the football world into a frenzy, leaving fans eagerly awaiting the next twist in what could be one of the most talked-about quarterback sagas in recent NFL memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.